Hey, Soul Tribe. Mel, Intuitive Coach here, excited to bring in your weekly collective for the week of Monday, September 22nd through Sunday, September 28th. All right, let's open up your energy field and take a look at what the upcoming week has in store for you. Bottom of the deck, we have new life. Now, this flows beautifully into the new moon and partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo that we are currently in the midst of right now. So this is a potent time for new beginnings, especially around our routines, health, exercise, and even in our personal and professional world, getting organized here, setting realistic intentions and taking the actionable steps towards growth, towards evolution. And that's why new life is showing up because it's flowing into the upcoming week. Big changes are on the horizon here for you, Soul Tribe. This is a perfect time to hit that reset button and try things that are new to you, or even taking a look at routines, habits, patterns, and rituals, because some of these habits are very beneficial and some of them could be challenging you in some way or holding you back. And so things are being shaken up for you to have this fresh start, to have this new beginning. Now, eclipse energies are powerful, so there may be an extra push to start some form of routine or to take a look at your health. And what I see here, especially with detox showing up this week, is some of you are really working on your health goals, mental health, physical health, emotional, and even spiritual. So this is about growth coming in for you this week and even a new journey ahead. Some of you may be opening a new door when it comes to your career. Some of you, this is relationship goals that you are pushing forward and moving into. And I see here, along with health, you are taking back your power because some of you are caregivers, you're healers, you're taking care of perhaps your children or elderly parents. You may be in a caring profession where you are of service in some way and you have felt drained, you have felt exhausted. I am getting here like fatigued. Some of you may feel tired and you are making the conscious choice here to focus on an area of your life. Maybe this is getting more sleep or focusing on eating healthier. It can be movement or exercise, and it can also be, where am I feeling the most tension and stress, and what can I do to reduce this area? So you're focusing on, holistic health, maybe looking at all of those pillars, but I see here that you are transforming and something internally here, right? Your intuitive wisdom is shining bright this week. So do pay attention because I feel like it's trying to get your attention because you are entering into a new phase. This is a turning point for you. And right behind new life, we have spiritual tools. So Spirit is reminding you here, Soul Tribe, that you have the tools. You have everything you need to manifest good health, to manifest abundance in your life, and to not just think it, but action it up, because that's Virgo energy, all about the actionable steps and realistic intentions. Because inspiration is wonderful in all, but unless we back it up with action steps, it's not going to bring us the success that we seek. So for example, let's say that you find something inspiring online and you listen to it and you feel motivated and it resonates and you're like, yes, this is the direction I want to go. And then you don't take action. It just is an inspiration, right? So I feel like that's the shift that's coming in for you. The things that have inspired you, the goals, the dreams, the aspirations, the motivating posts or videos or, educational material that you've learned. There's something that you are taking from that inspiration piece and you're doing something with it this week. That's what I'm getting heavily here. Now, moving into Monday. Monday, September 22nd. Now, I love this day because the sun enters Libra. It's also the autumn equinox here in the northern hemisphere. So this is a powerful day of balance and creativity. So this is also Empress energy. And the Empress is highly creative. That's aligned with Libra. And this is about expression. You have a lot of ideas, Soul Tribe, right? You have a lot of ideas. You are inspired. This is the artist within you that is coming alive. And you're holding the paintbrush and you have the canvas in front of you. The world is your oyster. You are someone who is birthing a new cycle into reality here. Now, Libran energy is about harmony and beauty and even relationships. So I do see romance here this week as well, but it's also about you recalibrating your priorities. You're seeking equilibrium in life. And that's where those pillars here of health and finances and relationships and your own projects come into view. And am I getting enough rest? Am I fully feeling restored so I can show up and invite peace and rest and love and beauty into my life? And that's what you are focusing on because you are highly creative. Many of you that are listening right now, many of you that are subscribers or you are attracted to even the title of this video, I feel like you are someone who, invests in your own health, invest in your own talents. You're someone who is discovering every day bits and pieces of the world around you, and you're filtering it through your own intuitive awareness. You're someone who is highly expressive and you have gifts. All of you have gifts, and I feel like you are being guided here to lean into your curiosities and to put your gifts out into the world, to share them, to honor them, and to learn more about them. So Monday is also when Mars enters Scorpio. So there's an intensified focus. There is an intensified drive and determination to pursue your goals with passion. This is about confronting any challenges and transforming that stagnant energy into action. So Monday looks to be a very powerful Monday coming in for you. So utilize the energies. Take what resources are showing up for you. If you have new ideas, if you are incorporating new rituals, this is the day to take one small actionable step. I think it's the book Atomic Habits that says, if you increase your goals or your success by 1% by the end of the year, you'll be 37% better than you are just by taking 1% action. And whether that's in any area of your life, and I feel like that's what this Monday is all about here, is becoming a better version of you and really highlighting this creative part within you. Now, Tuesday, September 23rd, there's the perspective shift. Now, it reminds me of the Hanged Man energy, where some of you have gone through a period of what I call the sacred pause. Now, we don't always love being in the sacred pause because we can feel stuck, we can feel restricted, we get stuck trusting in divine timing, and it could also be that you may have been seeing things through the lens of a past experience. Now, we all do that. Every single one of us are viewing our current lives through the lens of what we've gone through. That's normal. That's what we all do. But there may be something in the past that it didn't quite sit right with you, or it was an old story that may have kept you stuck or limited in some way. And it feels like the perspective shift is happening this week, meaning you're letting go of an old belief, or Anything that was delayed or you felt a bit hung up on, you're releasing. And this is the energy here of awakening. Oftentimes on the Hanged Man, you will see the crown chakra illuminated. And I see here that you have clarity. You have clarity. Things are starting to come into alignment here for you. And some of you could even be going in for professional like guidance. You could be gaining professional advice here this Tuesday. You could even be meeting with a boss or a teacher or a mentor, someone of higher authority. But this is about a new point of view and big picture thinking, meaning you're rising above adversity. You're rising above any sort of challenges or struggles or blockages. And you have a few different viewpoints, meaning you have more than one option here instead of feeling like you are stuck or limited. So whether this is your career, it feels like you are taking a step towards speaking to someone. Maybe this is speaking to a boss or speaking to a coworker. It could even be that in your own business, you are leaning into developing a new program or learning how to put yourself out there, or marketing, or taking a class that is going to help you evolve more into what it is that you're curious about. So any sort of lens that you have had that has been challenging you, it's like you're removing the rose-colored lens, or you're removing the lens of conditioning, and you're seeing things for as they are. This is a very truthful energy, and it's better to live in a truth than in a lie. And I also have the feeling here, Soul Tribe, that you're able to read people. You have the gift of intuiting, which we all do, but I feel like you also have the gift of picking up on the energy of others, meaning if other people are not honest, you're going to feel that. If you are in the profession of maybe healing or reading for others, you may be opening up in a way that you haven't before, but it's with good, clear, healthy boundaries. You may also be realizing that you've changed your mind about a situation. So for example, perhaps you've gone through a very difficult relationship ending in the past. And sometimes the first thing that we do is say, I'm never going to get married again. I'm never going to fall in love. I'm never going to be in a relationship, because that's our natural self-defense mechanism. We tend to kind of put up that barrier because it hurts, right? And we don't want to feel hurt. But you may be changing your mind, saying, well, wait a second, I've done a lot of healing. I have allowed time to do its thing. And you may be ready to open up to the prospect of new love. Or if this is a family member that you've had a falling out with, perhaps you are wanting to reach out or mend bridges or reconnect. I feel like your mind, it's okay to change your mind. Sometimes we get stubborn. Sometimes our ego gets stubborn and says, okay, I've made up my mind and that's what I have to do. I have to stick with that. But it's when that sticking to whatever it is that you have chosen becomes a downer in our lives, or it causes us to have blocks, or it puts a wall up where opportunities that are meant to come in or want to come in have a difficult time doing so, right? We can become kind of narrow-minded to that belief or that thought or that story. And then we see that there are stuck energies in our lives. And it feels like you're saying to yourself, wait a second, I am opening up to different perspectives, different options, different choices. So this Tuesday, there's also a lot happening here for you. Now, Wednesday, September 24th, the inner child wants to come out and play. Now, some of you may have children, all right? You could be all of you are a child, or you have been a child at some point, but we all have an inner child. And I see that you want to introduce more joy. You want to introduce more play into your life. Maybe there's been a heaviness. Perhaps there's been a seriousness. And so this Wednesday is a great time to let your hair down, have fun, write, journal, doodle, dance, turn on music, sing at the top of your lungs in your car on the way to the grocery store, on the way to work. There could be something that you are getting ready to celebrate. Maybe you have a child that's having a birthday, or perhaps you are celebrating a birthday on this day or this week, or even in the near future. And I feel like there's a lot of laughter here for you this Wednesday. This is about happiness and magic. So I am being shown the magician in my mind's eye, Soul Tribe. The magician is high energy. The magician is the communicator. He is a natural leader. And I feel like you could be embodying the characteristics of the magician, or some of you could be bringing in a magician type of energy, maybe even a Gemini or a Virgo, and you are attracting someone who is able to communicate with you more efficiently. This is someone who's very skilled, very talented, does have a lot of abilities, and I see that you are not being persuaded, manipulated, or taken advantage of. And maybe that is something you have struggled with in the past, is boundaries, or you had witnessed certain things growing up, as we all do, and it can pile on layers of conditioning where we wear that conditioning like a cloak. And we tend to attach labels to that conditioning, or we tend to be a certain way or act out in a certain way, or have the stories that replay out. And sometimes these are great, right? Sometimes this is a great conditioning that we've gone through, and sometimes it's not. And it's our responsibility as an adult to take a look at, anything that has caused us to stay attached to anything unhealthy from the past, whether that's romanticizing the past, whether it is, breaking out of, I just heard parental alienation. Oh my goodness. Well, that turned quickly, but parental alienation, maybe growing up, you may have had a parent who kind of put the other parent against. It feels like there may have even been an absent parent, or maybe a child got stuck in the middle of some sort of warfare that was going on between parents, or it may have been an ugly divorce, or you may have witnessed something challenging as a child, or maybe you have children here and you are trying to co-parent. Perhaps you're trying to work with these energies so the child isn't caught in the middle. And I feel like the solar plexus, because the yellow balloons are really being highlighted here. The solar plexus is our stomach area, our belly region, and sometimes where we pack on pounds, because those are layers of protection. So those of you that may be carrying a bit of extra weight in your belly region, this could be a month where you are working on safety and security, empowering yourself here, and working with your own inner child. Whether little him or little her feels scared or feels nervous or feels, excited, I feel like you're supporting that inner child in all ways. And if you have a special child in your life, it feels like Wednesday here, there's the opportunity to invite more magic into your world. You may also be witnessing other individuals acting immaturely. All right, this could be grown adults that are fighting like children. And I feel like you are not being drawn into the drama. Maybe you have felt like the monkey in the middle. Maybe some of you are going through like a sibling energy of rivalry, or you've dealt with coworkers that have been very immature here. Or maybe you have a grown adult child who hasn't been making the best choices. But I feel like there's a freedom, there's a liberation here. It reminds me of Mel Robbins, her book, The Let Them Theory, where some of you are incorporating leaving what's out of your control, like out of your life here, saying, well, let them, that's out of my control. I can't do anything about it, or I don't need to try to control the situation, because that's going to cause stress for everybody, including myself. So this is you tapping back into the innocence, back into new beginnings, and learning new ways to find peace and find calm despite what's going on around you. Now, this Thursday, September 25th, this is a good health day, a good day to get a good checkup. Maybe you're seeing the doctor or a nutritionist. Some of you could be really feeling in the flow of a new exercise routine, maybe a new meditation. Maybe you're going on a fast or cleansing here through juices. This is about withdrawing from drama or withdrawing from things that cause or foods that may cause inflammation. You may be trying to eat more healthy, whole, organic foods, less processed. This is about releasing what doesn't serve you, what weighs upon you. I'm being shown the 10 of Wands. So what burdens you? What causes your energy to feel sluggish? You may also suffer, or some of you have suffered from autoimmune. I'm getting Lyme's, Hashimoto's, and there may have even been something that was like a mystery illness, as they call, right? Mystery or autoimmune, as they label it, maybe like lupus or something of that nature. I'm also getting here with the solar plexus. Some of you may have struggled with gut health or digestion. And I see that you could be going on like a parasite cleanse, or perhaps you've been called to drink more lemon water. Maybe this is a kidney cleanse or a liver detox, incorporating milk thistle into your supplements or your tea. Some of you could be taking roots like burdock root or dandelion root, and I feel like you're really thinking about flushing out. Now, this is physical, showing up like a physical flush out. Maybe some of you have to drink that disgusting stuff. I forget what it is, but you have to drink it before you go in and get some blood work done or to get some labs done. Some of you may have had to drink that, or maybe you're preparing to. There could even be some form of, health and wellness checkup or surgery or something of that nature. But I feel good about it because the 10 of Wands is saying, okay, something has reached, a point where you're ready to start fresh. There's the new life. So whatever cures, or I should say whatever solutions is a better word, whatever solutions that are showing up for you, these are solutions where you're meant to open the doorway in order to regain better health for yourself. So whatever is coming through this week for your health, both physically, emotionally, mentally, emotionally, you're approaching things from a holistic point of view. So I like this coming in. Now, Friday, we have a little bit of love, and I'm hearing the song, L is for the way you look at me, right? O is for the only one I see. So some of you, isn't that on the movie, The Parent Trap? Okay, maybe there's energies coming together here. Maybe someone could be twins, okay, or there is a marriage, there's a union, a strong bond here that you are either attracting or strengthening, solidifying here. Even if you're going through a separation or a divorce, Soul Tribe, I feel like you are nurturing and taking care of yourself, focusing on living your best life, regardless of relationship status. But this is about intimacy. And intimacy is more than just, physical and sexual. Intimacy is about, getting to know someone else on a deeper level, getting to know someone's shadows even, and someone's history and what they've gone through. But it's also about becoming intimate with yourself, getting to know the parts of yourself that make you tick, getting to know the parts of yourself that you've even struggled with, some of your own triggers, some of your own patterns, and loving yourself through them. This is an act of self-love coming in. And I feel many of you are supported. Now, this is more of a promise ring with the heart than it is an engagement or a wedding ring. Now, of course, we do have here marriage, so some of you could be married, but I feel like this is more so of a promise that you are keeping with yourself. Now, this Friday would be a wonderful time to go on a date or go out with your girlfriends or your guy friends and meet new people, collaborate, connect. It'd be a wonderful night to go out for dinner and spend time with family, maybe cooking in the home, and everybody participating here, because it feels like this is a beautiful day of love, especially with this Venusian energy, with Libra vibes coming in. This is passion and, trusting that that love is all around you, but most importantly, it's within you. And you're starting to see evidence of that love flowing out into your outer world. So when it comes to your career, this is a beautiful day to really lean into those passion projects and to open yourself up to asking, what would love do in this situation? Or how can I lean into a more creative idea, which we have creativity showing up this Monday, so it could pay off by Friday. This is also about connecting with family, with friends, with coworkers, and really surrounding yourself with a circle, hence the ring, with a circle or a tribe of people that have your back, that you can laugh with, that you can play with, that you can enjoy the energies with individuals. And if you are solo or if you are by yourself, date yourself. I love to go out to the movies by myself, or I don't mind going out to dinner. I love to travel solo. I love my own company. So I don't mind dating myself. And this is something I see you doing for you. So putting yourself out there and saying, I'm loving life. Again, regardless of what or whom is in your life, you are dating yourself here. All right, Saturday, September 22nd or 7th, 7th, we have Animal Kingdom. You may have pets. Some of you could even be connecting with nature this Saturday, going out for a hike, maybe spending time on the boat. There could be a barbecue here. Maybe you're playing fetch or playing frisbee with a dog, or maybe you're at the park and you are connecting to other individuals, animals, right? They could be coming up to you. Maybe you're spending time at mom or dad's if you are fortunate enough to have them in your life. You are connecting to the animal kingdom. You could even have an ESA animal, or you may be contemplating getting a pet for the family. Maybe you are visiting an animal shelter, or you could be working in the industry of animals, maybe veterinary science. This is companionship. And we all know, for each and every one of us that have had animals, that they are our children. They are our babies. I have a tortoise and a hare. Well, the bunny is no longer here. It's with my daughter, who's in college now. And the tortoise is my son's, but it's through all types of animals. Some of you may have reptiles. Others of you may have bunnies. You may have cats. You may have horses. You may be someone who connects with animals in the great outdoors. So pay attention to the wisdom of the animal kingdom that is showing up for you this Saturday, because there are messages, especially if you have a loved one in spirit. They may be showing up through sending you a ladybug, right? Sending you a butterfly. Or if you have a pet that is crossed over, you may hear the pattering of the nails on the ground, or you may hear a bark and you're like, wait a second, was that Patches? Was that Roofy? And, they're no longer here, but you're picking up on those cues, those signs, letting you know that they love you, that they are still with you. So Animal Kingdom is rich this Saturday, especially for those of you that love to be outdoors. Pay attention, because they could show up in unusual places, and it could even be an unusual pet or animal. And I'm getting a caterpillar. Now, is it caterpillar season? I don't even know if caterpillars are out there right now, but some of you could see a caterpillar, and I feel like that represents metamorphosis. So some of you may be going through a huge metamorphosis at this time. So if you see one in nature, maybe you see one online, or maybe you see some sort of visual representation in your waking life or your dream life, take that as a message that you are metamorphosizing and you're about to spread your wings here. I love that for you. And lastly, Sunday, September 28th, we have finances. Finances here is about abundance. This Sunday, you may be coming up with new ideas, new income sources. Now, Sunday is known as the day of rest, right? Sunday is the day of Sabbath. Not that I'm religious here, but 7 is a very spiritual number. It is a number of spirituality and insight and wisdom and inner awareness where you could be dreaming, daydreaming. Maybe you're doing some bookkeeping, or you are doing some, work stuff, maybe checking some emails or coming up with new content. And I feel like you are investing. So it feels like this financial structure that you are creating for yourself, Soul Tribe, feels like it's in alignment with some of your new dreams, especially because we have creativity here. We have a perspective shift. We have some new joy, some new ideas that are coming through. You are removing and getting rid of distractions or things that have held you down or held you back in the past. And there could even be family support here or spousal support that is helping you evolve, helping you grow. And there may be like a financial backing that is coming through. And you could also be helping family members. I feel like today could also be a day of purchasing something that you've wanted or that you have needed. So maybe you're going on a little shopping spree this Sunday, or perhaps you've been wanting to get a new washer or dryer, or it's something for your home. It could even be that you are treating yourself. Maybe you're going out to lunch, or you are, purchasing, maybe this is the new animal. Maybe you are purchasing a new animal here. But finances are starting to flow for you, and things are starting to become clear around your career, around your finances. And so you are coming up with new solutions and new ways to generate income and tap in to the flow of abundance. That is what I have for you this week. Thank you so much, Soul Tribe, for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I hope this plays out for you. Feel free to save the video. Come back at the end of the week if you would like. Let me know. Thank you again. And if you are interested in a personal reading or signing up for the monthly newsletter, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video, or visit intuitivesoulcoach.com.